The EU's approach to migration cooperation with Africa may be misguided. In recent years, the EU has imposed migration-related conditionality on third countries, particularly in Africa. This means that areas like development aid, refugee resettlement, and visas are often tied to countries' cooperation with the EU on migration management. For example, limiting migrants' movements or readmitting migrants without permission to remain in the EU. Despite this, returns remain low. This is in part because the incentives offered have not been large or credible enough, in part because countries have a wide range of reasons to not want to cooperate on returns, and in part due to the legal and administrative obstacles that prevent migrants from being returned. Lately, the EU has begun adopting a more punitive use of conditionality. For example, the recently revised visa code allows member states to restrict visas to countries that do not cooperate enough on readmission. So to speak, the EU is using more sticks and less carrots. This shift is worrying. To begin with, conditionality has an impact on relations with third countries. African partners have repeatedly stated their frustration at the pressure they receive from the EU and the focus given to return compared to legal pathways, for example. Conditionality also compromises the effectiveness of other policy areas, for example, by redirecting development aid away from where it is most needed or most effective to where it can have the largest migration impact. So-called negative conditionality, or the sticks approach, is more concerning still. When third countries are not offered any wins or benefits of cooperating on readmission with the EU, but only have things taken away, that is likely to make pressure counterproductive and make readmission cooperation more unpopular domestically. Negative conditionality can also risk creating vicious cycles, whereby the countries with the least developed asylum or reception systems, and who are therefore least able to take in returnees, receive less EU support to improve those systems. In the coming years, the EU needs to rethink this strategy. It should develop a better dialogue with its partners based on credible, sincere commitments and a recognition of third countries' interests and domestic dynamics.